And now we fully enter this moment of worship, this moment of shaping that which has worth, not the least of which is our LGBTQIA siblings, friends, family members who are whole and holy and will always be whole and holy. We celebrate the blessing of our people today.
Our chalice lighting words this morning are by the Reverend Lori Gorgas Halaban. We light our chalice flame for those who live their lives in closets of shame, for those who furtively visited the bars where nobody knew their name, for the Stonewall riot and the fierce trans women who fought, for the plague, which still takes far too many, far too soon. So many gone. So many never lived to see. Out gay kids singing on TV. Out gay people serving in the military. Marriage equality. Families formed by intention. We light our chalice today for all of these and for all our siblings, our rainbow, surviving, living life out in the open with pride.
Let love continue long. You can either find the words on the screen or in your hymnal, blue gray hymnal. Let love continue long. We ask you to rise in either body or spirit and join us in singing.
Let love continue long and show to us the way. And if that long be strong, no hurt can have a say. And if that love remain but strong, no hurt can ever have a say. If love cannot be found, though common faith prevails, when love does not abound, a common faith will fail. When human love does not abound, a common faith will always fail. If we in love unite, debate can cause no strife, for with this love in sight, disputes enrich our life. For with this bond of human love, disputes can mean a richer life. Love continue long and lead us on our way. For if that love be strong, no hurt can have a say. For if that love remain but strong, no hurt can ever have a say.
This is the time in our service when we come together to share the joys and sorrows that have come into our lives over this last week. If you have a joy or sorrow that you would like to share, start making your way up to my right. There will be time for folks on Zoom to also share their joys. You just have to get somebody else that can work with me and Tracy on our flutes. That's it. Okay. We wish you well. We hold all of these joys and sorrows in the heart of this community, both spoken and unspoken.
Joys and sorrows are indeed wound up together, David. We're going to miss the hell out of you, man. And lucky,
When it comes to Savannah, so
lucky Savannah. I'll be down to visit you.
know where to find me.
Would Remus Kiss and Lily Rachel please join Jezebel and me at the pulpit? The bridging ceremony celebrates the transition of our youth from their high school experience into young adulthood. It's a time of tremendous change and stress for our youth. It's a time when many of them will leave our particular church community to travel to other cities, into higher education, into careers, and possibly into new families. Though Remus has already had some of those experiences because they finished high school last year. He missed his important ritual last year because of COVID and all the things that kind of came with that. So we wanted to make sure to celebrate the occasion with him nonetheless now that things are normal-ish. Now, the bridging ceremony is a rite of passage that welcomes both these bright, compassionate, passionate people into the rewards and responsibilities of adult life. The bridge has two sides. One is childhood and adolescence, where they have become leaders and role models for their younger friends and acquaintances. The other side is a scary and vast frontier of the unknown, full of boundless opportunities and new challenges. We, the adult members of this church community, also stand on this other side. We stand on the other side with our arms open to welcome you, our minds prepared to mentor and learn from you, and our hearts prepared to share life together with you. We're going to put some words up on the screen and ask you to read some words as a congregation when prompted. These words are also in an insert in your order of service, so you can kind of follow along there if you'd like. But we'll start all together reading these words.
Today, we honor the youth among us, you who are moving beyond and away and forward. Today, we share in your journey and encourage your discovery.
Today, we welcome your energy and offer you a safe place to grow. Today, we celebrate your hopes and dreams. Come, live, breathe, thrive, and rejoice. Your time is now.
Today, we applaud you for all you have been, for all you are now, for all you will be.
Today marks an ending so that I may begin again, to hope and do learn and be.
Today you cross this bridge.
Go now and explore with wonder. We will support and nurture you. You are the future.
Today you cross this bridge. Go now and make choices that make you happy. We will support and nurture you. You are amazing.
Today you cross this bridge. Be patient and hopeful. We will support and nurture you. You are an inspiration.
Today I cross this bridge and join in fellowship. Let me grow, but don't let me go.
Together we share a special place. Together we learn. Together we love. Together we grow.
stay up for one moment. Excuse me. I'm going to invite our incoming and newly elected board president, Natalie Reese, to help me with the next bit.
I offer you each a chalice, which symbolizes the fire you carry from youth to young adulthood. May the fire you both carry always be present. May we, as a faith community, help to re-add fuel to that fire when it inevitably begins to cool. And may your fire renew the flames in each of our hearts, now and when needed in the future. Together, may our flaming cup runneth over with love, joy, and celebration of the blessing of community and the combined power our community holds in the world.
And may all of us offer a joyful sound for Remus, Lily, and their momentous transition into adulthood. You may be seated. You can blow it out if you want, or if you want to keep your fire lit, it's up to you. I'm going to invite, I think we have just one youth with us this morning, but I'm going to invite Emmanuel up to sit with me, if you're willing. And I'm going to introduce a short video that is a song called the Pride Song that will kind of explain the meaning of all the colors in the Pride flag. And after we watch this video together, we're going to do a little ritual, okay?
It's Pride, everybody! Every color on the Pride flag is a symbol in the sky. Pride! And I'm proud to be me every time that I see that Pride flag waving high. Red means life because living is a gift. Orange means healing, and we have to persist in working to heal the world and healing ourselves. Yellow means sunlight, cause you gotta shine bright. Green means nature, and we gotta fight to keep our earth a thriving home for life. Doesn't it just fill you with pride, showing who you are on the inside? Wave that pride flag up high, be true to you. Happy Pride, everyone! Yeah! Blue means harmony, working together. Purple means spirit, believing you have the power and strength within yourself to do whatever you dream. Baby blue, pink, and white represent transgender people, because every letter in LGBTQ plus is equal. And black and brown represent the queer and trans people of color. Doesn't it just fill you with pride, showing who you are on the inside? Wave that pride flag up high, be true to you. Show your pride, wave those flags, everybody. Here we go. Red light, orange, healing. Yellow is sunlight. Green, nature. Blue, harmony. Purple is spirit. Baby blue, pink, white represent transgender people. And black and brown represent the queer and trans people of color. We're all in this together. So wave that pride flag way up high. Go big, be kind, be you. Doesn't it just fill you with pride, showing who you are on the inside? Never have to hide yourself away, there's a place for you. Doesn't it just fill you with pride, loving who you are on the inside? Wave that pride flag up high, be true to you. Be true to you.
man, now that you know a little bit more about the pride flag and what it might symbolize, I wondered if you would help me with something. Would you help me put this new pride flag up in the pulpit? Would you help me proudly share this symbol of love and support with anybody here that defines themselves as gay, queer, transgender, trans, asexual, in any spectrum of the age. So let's put this up here for now. You come to this side and lift that up and then put this underneath it. And I'm doing the same with this side, okay? And although we're putting this here on the pulpit today, because this does include the other symbols for our the folks of color and trans and binary people that are within the spectrum of LGBTQIA, we're going to replace the flag that we currently have in our flagpole, and we'll march with this together at the Pride Parade on June 25th. So And before, you can go sit down if you want to, but thank you very much for your help, man. And I'd like to dedicate this flag with these words of dedication by Alex Swift. Let this banner be a symbol of hope, a blanket of protection for those who need it, and a cape of power for those who must be empowered. Let this flag be a standard of our conviction to embody all of these things and to be the change we will upon the world. Let the will we will weave to empower and protect be woven into this flag as we weave it into the world. With our blessing, let all love be sacred, all unions safeguarded, and all people free. Blessed be. And now, I'm going to...
It's Pride every...
It's still Pride, so she's not wrong. I'm going to... If Emmanuel wants to go to class, he can, but otherwise we're going to sing our children out.
Singing if he's not going?
It's up to you. The rest of the service will be cool, too. All right, we'll stick here, and we'll...
No pressure, though.
But we still want you to grow, though, even though we're not singing the song. For our time for prayer and meditation today, I'm going to read these words by Becky Brooks entitled Still Queer in America. And while I do so, I'd like to really explore what emerges in your body and in your mind and your hearts as you hear these words. And connect with those feelings and maybe reflect upon why you're feeling those ways, while you also send your heart and your connection out to folks who are indeed impacted by so much remaining homophobia, transphobia, queerphobia that we have in our society. You can close your eyes if you'd like, lower your head if you'd like, put your hands on your knees or fold them, whatever is most comfortable for you. We were erased and still we loved. We were shamed and still we loved. We were expelled and still we love. We were laughed at and still we loved. We were hunted and still we loved. We were sacrificed and still we loved. We were marketed and still we loved. We were legislated and still we loved. We were murdered, and still we loved. We were murdered, and still we love. Blessed be.
So when Joe and I first came to this church in 2008, the rainbow flag that is out there was hanging on that back wall. And when we came in first time, we knew it was UU, but this was the Bible Belt. We had come down from New York. We saw the flag, and it's like, okay, these people are going to be cool. And we were part of the first Augusta Pride event. This is the second Sunday, and all of the collections that are not otherwise designated will be given to Augusta Pride, which is a wonderful, wonderful organization. When they first started Augusta Pride, they worked closely with the city and with community groups to create a well-organized and safe event. They were insistent that the entire event be family-friendly, and they made a lot of good media contacts. We were in the first parade. Our minister at the time came and marched with us. That first parade, we weren't sure what was going to happen because, y'all, this is the Bible Belt. And there was a lot of concern that there was going to be violence, there were going to be all kind of incidents, and there were protesters, there were some ugly words, but that was really it. And it was really amazing to be in that parade and see the faces of the people in downtown Augusta when we were marching with our signs and all our rainbows, and especially some of the older members of the LGBTQ plus community who were just so astounded that anything like this could happen here. And it was such a mixture of joy that it was here and also this, why did it take so long? And Augusta Pride has continued to be a very, except for COVID, which screwed everything, it has continued to be a very successful event. And honestly, it was good economically for the city, too. All the downtown businesses did well. This Augusta Pride is a win-win situation. And UU has been there. Our ministers have done the invocations at times. I organized the parade for many years. And it has been an honor to be part of this event to help bring the rainbow to the wider community. And yes, we still get some haters, but they're not what they used to be. Last time, I think we had one protester, and Joe spent about 4 hours talking to him. And at the end of the parade, at the end of the day, the guy was like, "You're not listening. Why were you talking to me for so long?" And Joe said, "That's so you wouldn't bother anybody else." Because that's the kind of church we are. And with that, I encourage you to give generously so that we can continue to spread the rainbow. Do we have ushers? I think I forgot to get ushers. But we got people who jump up and do this. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, I'm done with this. Go away.
Thank you for your generosity. Man, I'm going to miss you. First and foremost, Pride Month is a month of radical remembrance of the events that took place at Stonewall nightclub in New York City from June 28th to July 3rd, 1969. Events which are often called riots were incited by some heavy-handed homophobic and transphobic policing. Some people who attended that club frequently finally decided to fight back, to no longer allow violence and oppression to dictate their lives. Especially Marsha P. Johnson, who threw the first brick in righteous anger. It's important that we remember that Pride started off as a fight for the acknowledgement of the same inherent worth and dignity afforded to sexual and gender normative people. And in this month of celebrating blessings, our theme here this month, I think that what Pride does so well now is it celebrates the blessings and wholeness of our LGBTQIA siblings with a vibrance, with love, and a full of lifeness. I, as a heterosexual white cisgender male with all the privilege that goes along with those identities, have been privileged and have had the pleasure of attending several Pride festivals myself and being a part of several Pride parades, all of which have always inspired the most life in me to emerge, to bloom, to just have fun, have joy, embody joy, and celebrate. And for that, I'm grateful to our LGBTQIA siblings for sharing that gift of holy love. So back in St. Petersburg, Florida, when I was the music director at the UU Church of St. Pete, and Janaea and I had been dating for just a little bit of time, not too long, the UU St. Pete Church marched in the Pride Parade as a church there, as they do every year, as we do every year when it's being held. And you know, St. Pete has a really strong and active LGBTQIA community. Therefore, their Pride Festival and the parade are just huge, great special events. And while we march in the parade, you know, there's tons of bright flashing lights, tons of people, music playing real loud the whole time. Like you couldn't not just dance as you marched along this parade route. It's like a citywide dance party. And in the interest of having fun and experiencing one long, sustained moment of bliss, Janaea actually rode on my shoulders as we dance marched for the entire parade. Another cognate of the word blessing is bliss, if you didn't know, meaning ecstasy, sheer enjoyment of life. And it's hard not to name those experiences as a blessing when you do experience that bliss. But as Janaea and I marched, well, I marched, you just kind of, you know, we danced basically as one in this kind of show of interdependence between us that in our bliss, we became bigger, we literally became bigger than ourselves, taller, more mass, just larger presence. And not only did our relationship kind of bloom so much during that event, that was one of the first moments that we as a couple kind of fully connected as a couple to the UU St. Pete community, and really kind of endeared ourselves as this new partnership. The memories of that event are still strong with me and reside as a core memory in both my heart and my mind. I think it was one of the first times that I realized that dancing was something that I actually did enjoy a lot. I had been kind of cautious about dancing up until that point, well, at least in public. But the kind of the joy that Janaea and I shared and created that day in our celebration was just kind of spilled over then into her and my story. And for that, I'm super grateful once again, and that's a blessing to me, our story, and we celebrate that a lot with a lot of dance parties at home. So I share this to kind of show how the pure joy and ritual of pride parades, how there's an appreciation of who we are, truly are as holistic beings, and who we are in community as holistic beings, where everyone is just kind of amplifying everyone's genuine selves. And that's a special thing. So in this month of gay pride appreciation and celebration, I think we all can both learn from the joy that is celebrated in those events, but also points us toward the continued realization that what we see from our LGBTQIA siblings, what we see from our LGBTQIA people in this room and in this community, is a sacred example of full blooming into one's whole and holy self, happening right before our eyes. It's a special thing. And I want to add the grief element part of this that also remains. A lot of lesbians, gay people, bi people, trans people, queer people, intersex and asexual people aren't safe. They don't feel safe at the very least, but probably are not safe to fully express themselves as themselves. Their lives are indeed often in danger. In some states, their existence actively being muted or erased by legislation. And that's where the work of Pride is still really important. That we celebrate the expression of wholeness and holiness so that eventually everyone feels safe to do so. We continue that work, and I think that the folks who organize these Pride festivals and the folks who are involved with it in any way, from planning to just being there, just attending the event, these folks are perhaps doing some of the greatest displays of radical transformational work for society by just being. Now, I want to make sure that the folks who have less queer identities, and it's always a spectrum, so I say less purposefully, the folks with less queer identities don't take the spotlight away from the people who really need these moments and the annual Holy Day cycle to celebrate themselves and celebrate their communities. And I think it's important for all of us to kind of live into this really radical act of love, of being a part of these celebrations and in solidarity with anyone whose identities are oppressed in some way, or who are literally in danger of violence or death because of who they are. And we do that through this radical act of celebration of joyful and sometimes even wrathful work, just like Marsha P. Johnson did at Stonewall. We take the work that started Pride Month and we transform it, and we transform the world through our celebratory acts of love, the celebration of the blessing of the wholeness of each of you. I'll say this clearly and plainly. Here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Augusta, we celebrate Pride. We celebrate all members of the LGBTQIA community. We celebrate those of you who are told and shown far too often that folks believe you're flawed, are making some kind of evil choice, that you're not whole and that you cannot be whole. We celebrate you in spite of those folks being straight up wrong. And I assure you, my last few word choices were very intentional. Straight up wrong? Okay. I hope many of you will continue celebrating with us and the whole CSRA queer community at the Augusta Pride Parade on June 25th. And then celebrate those lives every other month too, so that we don't forget that this work is ongoing. Don't forget to both support and be in solidarity with folks who are hurting and who are unsafe and who are oppressed. And also celebrate with them and celebrate them at the same time. May we always be celebrating the blessing of us, our holy, whole, fabulous selves. Blessed be.
Our closing hymn is hymn number 66, found either on the screen or in your gray hymnals. We invite you to stand as you are able in body or spirit and join us in singing.
When the summer sun is shining over golden land and sea, and the flowers in the hedgerow welcome butterfly and bee, and my open heart is glowing, full of warmth for everyone.
of the home of my being, reaching inwards to the corners of my soul.
You can remain standing if you are up, just for a moment. I close today's service with this rainbow blessing by Cricket Hall. In the middle of a pride parade, give me a second. May the drag stage rise to meet you. May the world rise to accept and embrace you. May the rainbow of love enfold you. May your fluidity never be hindered. May your pronouns always be supported and your dead name forgotten. May those you invite into your life remain loyal. May your chosen family lift you up and catch you when you need it. May you be able to catch others when they need it. May you remember sensitivity is not weakness, but instead a great strength welling up inside you. And until we meet again, may you remember that you are loved and you are divine.